Hello and welcome to Evolve IAS YouTube channel. I am Prince Mishra, and this session has been organized to just boost your prelims preparation. All of you must be involved in your revision for prelims, as it is only 30 days left in prelims. So to just help you in your geography revision, I have just planned this session, and it is a 4-session program. In this 4-session program, the idea is that I will take up the previous year's question, and through the previous year's question, roughly around 12-13 years, last 12-13 years geography related questions I will take up. And through those questions, first of all, I will give you the some of the important concept, and also will learn that how those concepts are related when the questions are being asked, so how to apply the concept that you already have studied. But more importantly, also you will be able to know the priority area, the most important topics of the syllabus of the geography. That is very important and you should not miss, because regularly, continuously you will get that questions are being asked. So regularly you will get that questions are being asked from that particular area, from that particular topic. So without wasting any time, I will just start the session. And in this session, the few topics that I will take up is general geography, geomorphology, oceanography. So some of the important topics that I am going to cover in this session, in today's session, is associated with very basics of geography, like rotation, revolution of the earth, latitude, longitude, interior structure of the earth, forces affecting the earth's crust, continental drift theory, sea floor spreading theory, paleomagnetism, earthquake, rocks, volcanism, landforms, ocean bottom relief, oceanic temperature, oceanic salinity, waves, tides, currents, coral reef, and coral bleaching. So these are the topics that will be covered through in this particular session. So let's begin. First question. In the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in the first half of the month of June, second half of the month of June, first half of the month of July, second half of the month of July. So this question is of this question is of 2022. So this question has been asked in 2022, and it is from the very basic concept. Now the concept, if you will look out that which concept it deals, so primarily it deals with revolution of the earth. So it is not like that only in 2022 the question has been asked. You will find that regularly, year upon year, this is the area from where you will get the question. Now when it comes to the revolution, there are few things that you need to know. First of all, you need to revise your concept that earth is revolving around the sun. Like other planets, earth is also part of the solar system. So like all the planets of the solar system, they revolve around the sun. Earth is also revolving around the sun. But this revolution is little bit different, or you can say unique. In this revolution, what is the unique part in this revolution? That first of all, earth is revolving in an elliptical orbit. So earth is not revolving in a circular orbit. So earth is revolving in an elliptical orbit. Because of this elliptical orbit, the distance between the earth and sun is not same. And one complete revolution, earth take around 365 days, around 6 hours. So we call it as 365 days, 1/4 days. So this is the time that earth takes for the one complete revolution. So let's suppose that here is the earth. So it will take around 365 1/4 days to just complete this revolution. And this is simply referred as the particularly normal year, the year that we are accustomed with. So this is the time period, we call it as year. Similarly, You also need to know, if you will just revise your, if you will just recall the concept of universe and all, you must be knowing that every celestial object is revolving. So like the earth is revolving around the sun, very similarly the sun is a star. Sun is a star, sun is also revolving. Sun is revolving around what? Sun is revolving around the galaxy. Which galaxy? We are part of the Milky Way galaxy. So sun is also revolving, but this revolution time period is very huge. But this revolution time period is referred as galactic year. So like we have the 1 year on the earth's surface, similarly the time period which suns take to complete one revolution around the galaxy is referred as the galactic year. Anyway, so now this 1 year, in this 1 year time period, there will be different phenomena. The most important phenomena which we feel and also on which regularly questions are being asked is length of day and night. So the length of day and night in this 1 year will not be same, and this length of day and night is referred as simply seasons. तो इस पे भी कई सारे क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, रेगुलरली पूछे जाते हैं, क्या कारण है सीजन्स का, सीजन क्यों होती है, और उसी का दूसरे तरीके से क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया जाता है कि कौन से सीजन में या किस पर्टिकुलर डे पे सबसे लॉन्गेस्ट डे होगा, नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में कब आपका सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में सबसे लॉन्गेस्ट डे होगा. सो इफ यू विल लुक आउट दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, इट इज आस्किंग इन द नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर द लॉन्गेस्ट डे ऑफ द ईयर नॉर्मली अकर्स. तो ये आपका कब होता है? सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू नो दैट व्हाट इज द कॉज ऑफ द सीजन. सो इन सिंपल वर्ड, द कॉज ऑफ द सीजन इज द रेवोल्यूशन. But is the revolution is the simply cause of the season? No, there has been some other aspect. First of all, as I said, that earth is revolving around the sun, and how it is revolving? It is revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. So first, it is revolving in elliptical orbit. The second very important characteristic that you need to know, that earth is tilted on its axis. So throughout its journey, 365 1 by 4 days, earth is tilted on its axis. So there is a tilt in the earth. Now tilt is 23.5 degree. So earth is tilted on its axis. So first of all, elliptical orbit. Because of the elliptical orbit, the distance between the sun and earth will not be same. The average distance between the sun and earth is around 150 million kilometer. तो ये average distance है between sun and earth. लेकिन जब आपका sun and earth सबसे नजदीक होगा, so this position when the earth and sun is the nearest is simply referred as perihelion. Generally this perihelion occurs on 3rd of January. And when the earth and sun is farthest, so when earth and sun is farthest, it is referred as aphelion, and this position generally occurs 4th of July. So this is the general. There will be a variation of 1 or 2 days. So sometime it can be a 3rd January, sometime it can be a 2nd January. So there will be a variation. So this aphelion and perihelion, and when the sun and earth is nearest, it is around 147 million kilometers. So the distance between sun and earth will be 147, and when it is farthest, it is 152 million kilometers. So first of all, the main purpose of this telling this is, please be very clear that the distance between the sun and earth is not responsible for the season. So season on the earth's surface that we witness, there is a variation of the length of day and night is not related with this distance. So it is not because of the elliptical orbit. It is because of some other characteristics. So what are the characteristics? So as I said, the first very important characteristic is revolution, but revolution on tilted axis. So revolution on tilted axis. Other than this, earth is revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Along with this, earth's axis is tilted. This axis is not straight. And the third very important characteristic of this revolution is axial parallelism. Now what is the axial parallelism? Earth's axis, the axis which is revolving around the sun. So this Earth's axis which is revolving around the sun will be parallel throughout its journey. Its journey is getting completed in 365 1/4 days. So throughout its journey, there will be one more celestial object to which this Earth's axis is pointing, and it will remain parallel to that celestial object, and this celestial object is nothing but North Star. North Star, it is not that it is fixed, लेकिन जो मूवमेंट है, जैसा मैंने बताया दैट सन इज ऑल्सो मूविंग, सन इज ऑल्सो रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड द गैलेक्सी, लेकिन वो इतना लंबा डिस्टेंस है दैट रिस्पेक्ट टू द प्लैनेट दैट इज अर्थ इट अपीयर्स टू बी ऑलमोस्ट फिक्स. सो दिस नॉर्थ स्टार is also known as Polaris, is also known as Pole Star, जिसको आप ध्रुव तारा कहते हैं. This ध्रुव तारा, Pole Star, Polaris is appears to be fixed. So it is like throughout its journey. तो आप कहीं पे भी अगर आप if you are just looking out, let's imagine that this is Earth and Earth is revolving. So at any particular moment of time, किसी भी दिन, so it is not related that only on 21st June या 22nd December, summer solstice, winter solstice, equinoxes पे ही मिलेगा. कभी भी किसी भी दिन किसी भी moment पे, if you will look out this axis of the Earth, so this axis will always point out to the North Star and it will always be parallel. So all the axis of the Earth will be parallel. So it is referred as axial parallelism. इसी वजह से if let's suppose that you have been in some open area, in desert or anywhere, and you are not able to identify that what will be the direction. So to just identify the direction, you just need to look out, you just need to point out the pole star. Once you will be able to point out the pole star, then your job will be done. You need not to worry about it. You will be able to point out that yes, this is the northern side. So as far as the seasons on the Earth surface is concerned, please remember the cause of the season, one is your revolution on tilted axis, the second most important is axial parallelism. So it is not only the revolution, but revolution on tilted axis and also the axial parallelism. The role of axial parallelism is very important. Now related to this, there will be two more concepts that you just need to understand, you need to remember. One of the concept is simply referred as subsolar point. Now what is this subsolar point? When the Earth is revolving around the sun, sun's light will be falling to only some portion, but within this some portion there will be some area where the sunlight will be vertical. So on the Earth's surface there will be a particular point, and this particular point is in the form of latitude. So on any particular time, it can be a, जब भी आप समय, let's suppose आप सुबह के 10 बजे सोच रहे हैं, so 10 बजे at 10 o'clock there will be only one point on this Earth surface where the sunlight will be vertical. This point is what? Latitude. So this latitude on which on any particular time the sun rays will be vertical is known as subsolar point. So subsolar point is the point on the Earth surface over which the sunlight will be vertical at any particular point of time. It's a unique point. It is like कि अगर आपका subsolar point is 10 degree north at 10 o'clock, तो अब और कोई पॉइंट नहीं होगा कि जहां पे आपकी सनरेज वर्टिकल होंगी, तो ये एक यूनिक पॉइंट है. द सेकेंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट दिस सब सोलर पॉइंट विल ऑलवेज बी विद इन ट्रॉपिक्स. सो इट विल नॉट बी लाइक एनीवेयर. सो इट विल ऑलवेज बी विद इन 23.5 डिग्री नॉर्थ टू 23.5 डिग्री साउथ. इसी के बीच में ही आपका जो वर्टिकल पॉइंट होगा, जो सब सोलर पॉइंट होगा, दैट विल रिमेन. सो सब सोलर पॉइंट विल ऑलवेज बी विद इन द ट्रॉपिक 23.5 degree north, 23.5 degree south. This is also one of the reason why the tropics receives more insolation? Because within the tropics the sun rays will be vertical. Of course, this sun rays will not be vertical throughout the year. So some point of time it will be a Tropic of Cancer, sometime it will be equator, sometime it will be Tropic of Capricorn. It will just keep on shifting. So subsolar point. Then there is one more concept that you need to know is circle of illumination. Because Earth is revolving around the sun, simultaneously Earth is also rotating. Because of this continuous rotation of the Earth's surface, there will be day and night phenomena. Now the day-night phenomena is like that because of this continuous rotation of the Earth, half of the Earth will receive the sunlight and half of the Earth will not receive the sunlight. So the area which receives the sunlight will have experience of daytime, whereas the area where the sunlight is not coming, that will be a night time. So there will be a daytime, there will be a night time, and this day and night will be half. So there will be a imaginary circle. अगर आप अर्थ इज स्फेरिकल, सो अगर आप अर्थ पे कोई एक सर्कल ड्रॉ करेंगे, इमेजिनरी सर्कल ड्रॉ करेंगे, तो वो सर्कल इस तरीके से होगा दैट इट विल डिवाइड द होल अर्थ इन टू पार्ट. One is day hemisphere and one is night hemisphere. So circle of illumination is simply the imaginary circle which divides the earth in two equal half, that is day hemisphere and the night hemisphere. One very important point, this circle of illumination is the big circle. So big circle उसी सर्कल को कहते हैं जो अर्थ को दो इक्वल पार्ट में डिवाइड करेगा. The second point, ये जो आपका सर्कल होगा, इसका जो सेंटर होगा, that center will coincide with the center of the earth. So any circle that is drawn on the earth's surface, if its center is coinciding with the center of the earth and also it is dividing the earth in two equal half, so that is referred as big circle. All the other circle will be simply referred as small circle. तो यहीं से अगर आप याद करें, if you will just try to recall, लैटिट्यूड लॉन्गिट्यूड भी पढ़ा होगा. सो लैटिट्यूड के केस में ऑल द लैटिट्यूड्स आर नथिंग बट दैट इज अ काइंड ऑफ सर्कल. सो वी हैव द इक्वेटर, वी हैव ऑल द अदर सर्कल. सो इन केस ऑफ लैटिट्यूड देयर विल बी ओनली वन बिग सर्कल एंड दैट इज योर इक्वेटर. ऑल द अदर सर्कल विल बी स्मॉल सर्कल. बट इन केस ऑफ लॉन्गिट्यूड ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द circles are big circle. So that is why we are not having any natural line like in case of latitude. Latitude में हमें natural line मिल जाती है, that is equator, which is dividing the earth into equal half. हमने उसका नाम रख दिया equator. But in case of longitude, we are not having any natural line. All the meridians are what? That is big circle. इसीलिए हमने there has been agreed upon meridian, जिसको हमने क्या कहा? Prime meridian. So prime meridian is, you can say, it is more like a man-made, whereas equator is natural. Anyway, so subsolar point and circle of illumination you need to know. Now one very important thing, because earth is revolving around the sun and sunlight is falling. So depending upon the position of the earth, there will be different points over which some of the sunlight will be, some area will receive more sunlight, some area will receive less sunlight. So the some area will have more sunlight, some of the area will have less sunlight. Now this area where you will have the more sunlight, the area where you will have the less sunlight, it is associated with which position we are. So in which position we are depends upon that where the sunlight will be there. So when we are in the winter solstice, so just for our own convenience, we have selected 4 different points. तो हमने 4 अलग-अलग dates select करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि केवल इन्हीं 4 dates पे आपकी situation होगी, but for the convenient कि किस तरीके से हम अपनी study को करेंगे. So we have the winter solstice. So winter solstice के time पे the subsolar point will be 23.5 degrees south. That is Tropic of Capricorn. तो जो आपका winter solstice होगा, at time of winter solstice, if you will look out, then you will find at the time of winter solstice, the sunlight is vertical at Tropic of Capricorn. Now sunlight is vertical at Tropic of Capricorn. Because of this, what is happening? That this whole southern hemisphere will receive lots of sunlight. So this is the time period. और ये कब होगा? That is around 22nd December. Now during 22nd December, जब आपका winter solstice हो रहा, sub solar point is Tropic of Capricorn, and when we are in summer solstice, during summer solstice, the vertical sun rays will be over the Tropic of Cancer. Over the Tropic of Cancer. Now because during this time, and this is your around 21st June, so ये dates आपकी, it can be 1 or 2 days variation, so fixed नहीं है, there can be variation. Now what is happening? On 21st June, the sunlight is vertical at 23.5 degree, and this area you will have more and more sunlight. लेकिन सन रेज आपकी जैसे ही नीचे जाएंगे 23 से, सन रेज इज बिकमिंग स्लैंटिंग, एंड सन रेज इज बिकमिंग स्लैंटिंग इन सच ए मैनर दैट ऑलमोस्ट दिस एरिया 66.5 डिग्री साउथ, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं अंटार्कटिक सर्कल. सो बियॉन्ड दिस अंटार्कटिक सर्कल देयर विल नॉट बी एनी सन रेज. सो दिस एरिया विल एक्सपीरियंस व्हाट? कंप्लीट darkness, but this area will have complete sunlight, especially 66.5 degree north, Arctic circle के ऊपर. So this is the time when northern hemisphere, that is beyond Arctic, there will be a complete daytime. तो पूरे 24 घंटे आपको क्या रहेगा? डे टाइम. इसीलिए यहां पे एक फेनोमेना भी करते हैं हम लोग, दैट इज midnight sun phenomena. Midnight sun, it's a very almost it attracts lots of tourists also, specifically in the Scandinavian country. तो midnight sun phenomena ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका नॉर्थ में, ज्यादा बेहतर midnight sun phenomena it will be in the southern hemisphere. तो southern hemisphere में midnight phenomena ज्यादा अच्छी होगी, but southern hemisphere we have the less land mass, तो वहां पे जो land mass है वो कम है, इस वजह से mostly people visit in case of northern hemisphere to visit this, to watch this phenomenon. Anyway, so this is the time when you will have the complete daytime, and complete day means 24-hour day. Now just this is the point that you need to understand. Sunlight आपकी vertical है Tropic of Cancer. Now beyond this Tropic of Cancer, the length of the day is increasing. So during the June, that is 21st June, the sunlight is vertical at Tropic of Cancer, and the length of the day will keep on increasing. Length of day will keep on increasing in the northern hemisphere. If the length of day is increasing, what will happen to the length of night? It will decrease. So during summer solstice, in northern hemisphere, length of day is increasing, length of night is decreasing. Exactly opposite will happen during the winter solstice. So winter solstice, during winter solstice, length of day will increases in which hemisphere? Southern. During summer solstice, length of day will increases in northern hemisphere. You should not have confusion, क्योंकि when you will study, that is fine, you have gone through with the concept, but when it comes to the examination, it is bound to have some kind of confusion. So to avoid confusion while preparing itself, you should try to learn in only one format. So don't look out the night, because what will happen to the day, from the day you can relate with the night. So don't look out that what will happen to the night. Just try to remember the day. Things will be easy for you. Now, if you will look out the question, in the northern hemisphere, the longest day, so longest day of year normally occurs in the, so just now, just you need to recall the revolution, कि revolution में solstice position पे ही longest and shortest day night कुछ भी है, that will be only on the solstice position. Now solstice position कहाँ पे आ रही है? There are two dates, one is summer solstice, one is winter solstice. क्योंकि इसके अलावा जो भी डेट होगा वहां पे लेंथ ऑफ डे, लेंथ ऑफ नाइट बड़ी छोटी नहीं होगी. स्पेसिफिकली इन केस ऑफ if you are looking out the equinoxes, the length of the day will be equal, night will be equal. Equinox से जब आप solstice की तरफ जाएंगे, definitely length of day will increases, length of night will decreases, or length of night will increases, day will decreases, but it will not be the maximum. Maximum कहाँ पे होगी? Only these two position. So if you will look out this question, you will find in the northern hemisphere longest day. तो आपके पास you just need to recall the summer solstice. समर सॉल्स्टिस में नॉर्थ में आपका डे लेंथ बढ़ता है. जस्ट यू नीड टू रिकॉल द समर सॉल्स्टिस. समर सॉल्स्टिस की डे क्या है? रफली 21st जून. सो यू जस्ट नीड टू लुक आउट दैट फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द मंथ ऑफ जून, सेकंड हाफ ऑफ द मंथ ऑफ जून, सेकंड हाफ. सो समटाइम्स वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चन जब वो एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है, जस्ट बिकॉज द लैंग्वेज, सो इट विल बी लाइक कि क्या पूछ लिया, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द हीट ऑफ द एग्जाम. और जनरली ऐसे क्वेश्चन आप देखेंगे कि पहला क्वेश्चन नहीं होगा, सो दैट विल बी लाइक 60th क्वेश्चन, 65th क्वेश्चन. तो वहां तक जब आप पहुंचेंगे, वन मोर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. सो 2019 इसी से रिलेटेड, ऑन 21st जून द सन. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 22 में रैंडमली पूछा गया, ऑलमोस्ट रेगुलरली यू विल गेट अ क्वेश्चन. ऑन 21st जून द सन does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle, does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle, shines vertically overhead at noon on the equator, shines vertically overhead at the overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. So 21st June, what will be the subsolar point? Subsolar point is Tropic of Cancer. So Tropic of Cancer means this is incorrect. One more thing, of course you all must be following and you all must have done all these things, but one of the very interesting thing I must have told you, if you have been connected with me GS classes, optional classes, I must have told this, specifically in the geography and environment. If you are solving the previous year's question paper, do not just look out the correct answers. Try to go through with some of the options also, because the UPSC is having tendency to frame the question. Let's say they have asked some question in 19 and they have given 3 options. Now the 3 options are incorrect, one is correct. So now in 2022 they will frame one more question, and that is nothing but they have picked up the 3 options from the 90. So इसीलिए do not just randomly look out the correct option, also try to look out the incorrect also. So yes, so shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn, that is incorrect. Shines vertically overhead at noon on the equator, equator की जब subsolar point क्या होगा? That is equinoxes. So subsolar point will be over the equinoxes. So that is also incorrect. Now you are left with 2. Recall the midnight sun phenomena. So during the summer solstice, midnight sun phenomena कहाँ पे होगा? Northern pole. During the winter solstice, midnight sun phenomena कहाँ पे होगा? That is southern pole, Antarctic. So obviously the answer will be does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle. इसी से related you will find question number 6. So it was a question of 2013. Variation in the length of daytime and night time from season to season are due to Earth's rotation on its axis. Yes. So it's not completely incorrect. Rotation is also having the role. Latitudinal position of the place, not that much important. Revolution of the earth on a tilted axis. First of all, this will revolution around the sun in an elliptical manner. So just now I have explained, elaborated that elliptical, this orbit is not having a role in the season. So this is completely incorrect. Rotation is having role, but it is not the primary. If you will just look out, revolution on tilted axis and then axial parallelism. So revolution on tilted axis and axial parallelism. So what will be the answer?
The revolution of the earth on the
tilted axis. So these type of questions becomes very confusing अगर आपने नहीं किया है, अगर आपने बेसिक जो ज्योग्राफी है उसको अवॉइड किया है. And this is a very important area from where regularly questions are being asked. Now there is a very interesting question that has been asked in 2012. A person stood alone in a desert on a dark night and wanted to reach his village, which was situated 5 kilometers east of a point where he was standing. So let's suppose you are here, ठीक है, north, south, east, west. So let's suppose if you know that this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. So it will be easy that yes, 5 kilometers यहाँ पे मेरा घर है. But you don't know. It is like, it can be like this also. So you are not sure. So how to reach now? The question is, a person stood alone in a desert on a dark night and wanted to reach his village, which was situated 5 kilometers east of the point where he was standing. He had no instrument to find the direction, but he located the pole star. What is this pole star? So pole star is north star, pole star. And what is the feature of this pole star? The feature of the pole star is we were discussing the parallelism. Axial parallelism. So what is this parallelism? Throughout its revolution, Earth's axis will point to a fixed point. As I said, this star is not fixed. This star is also revolving around its galaxy. But with respect to Earth, this star appears to be fixed. So this fixed star is what? Pole star, Polaris, and it will always point towards which direction? North. So let's suppose today we are here and we just found out that on this side the North Star is, that is north. So we need not to look out anything else because we have identified the north. So we just get to know that here we have the North Star. So अब हमें क्या करना है? Because we know we have identified the north. So east will be on this side. So 5 किलोमीटर हमें जाना है. So we need to travel keeping the pole star in left or right. So we need to travel 5 kilometers keeping the pole star in right or left. So this type of question will become a cakewalk or very easy if you have the conceptual clarity. If you are not having the conceptual clarity, तो फिर काम नहीं चलेगा, फिर ऐसे लगेगा कि ये क्वेश्चन कैसे गलत हो रहा. So this type of question the UPSC usually ask. So very basic understanding you need to have. If you are not having the basic understanding of rotation, revolution, there will be a chances that you will miss a question. Now moving to the next question, consider the following statement. The Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years. when the earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, there was 54% of oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Is it correct or incorrect? Incorrect. All right. When living organism originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the earth. Correct or incorrect? So what will be the answer? Option C, 1 and 3. Now few very important points that you need to understand. First of all, you just need to recall the Earth's interior. So how many layers do we have in our Earth interior? Primarily we have the 3-layer. So we have 3-layer. Now how these 3 layers have originated? So you need to go back little bit related with what? Origin and evolution of the Earth. So we'll come back to this later. First, we have the 3-layer, and the 3 layers are what? Crust, mantle, and core. Roughly, it is up to 30 kilometer. It is around 2900 kilometer. It is around 6400 kilometer. Now, core is in which state? So core is not having one single state. So we have division. So division is like inner core and outer core, inner core. Now this outer core is in which state? This outer core is in liquid state and inner core is in solid state. Now when you will look out the heat transfer mechanism within the earth interior, you will find that generally there are 3 mechanisms of heat transfer. We have radiation, we have conduction, we have convection. That is the 3 general method of heat transfer. Radiation is not possible inside the earth. Now you will only have possibility of what? Conduction and convection. But as far as rocks are concerned, rocks are very poor conductor. So almost if you need, let's say 400 किलोमीटर का अगर हमारा मोटा रॉक है and heat is being transferred through the conduction method, so almost it will take 1 billion time period to transfer the heat in this 400 kilometer thick rock. And what is the age of earth? So obviously it is very clear conduction's role is there, but conduction is not the primary mode of heat transfer within the earth interior. Now we are left with only convection. And what is convection? In convection, whenever the materials will be heated, material could be in molten or gaseous. So when the material will be heated, it will rise. Simplified तरीके से अगर आपको समझना हो तो जब भी आप AC स्विच ऑन करते हो तो गर्म हवा ऊपर जाती, ठंडी हवा नीचे आती. That is nothing but convection. So very similarly, when the materials, the rocks will get melted, molten rock will be known as what? Magma. So when the rock is turning into the magma will rise, and this rising magma will come towards the surface. Now here roughly this thickness is what? It is around 2000 kilometer. So around 2000 kilometer, such a huge amount of rock is in molten condition. So यहाँ पे भी there will be huge convection. Because of this huge convection, what is happening? The material will try to come out. So rising will be there. But because the mantle is in solid condition, this rising will not be allowed, but there will be some other consequences. So what is the consequence? Because this is liquid, this is solid, and this core is primarily made up of iron. Core को ही हम लोग कहते हैं निफे. So this is crust, this is sial, silica aluminum, this is sima, silica magnesium, this is nife, nickel and ferrous. So core is primarily made up of iron. So here you will have solid iron, here you will have liquid iron. So it is like a solid iron is there, and around this solid iron there is a movement of liquid iron. Of course, this movement is not very simplified or circular movement. We call it a churning motion. So there will be a different movement, but ultimately it is a moving. So there will be a dynamo effect. Because of this dynamo effect, there will be a electromagnetism, and this electromagnetism is causing the magnetism on the earth surface. So earth behaves like a bar magnet, because when the scientists were able to know that earth behaves like magnet, so initial thought process was that within the earth core there is a bar magnet that is placed, but that bar magnet concept has been rejected. Now this dynamo effect concept is very much agreed upon, that because of this presence of solid core, inner core, and liquid outer core, we have the magnetism. Now there is a characteristic of this magnetism. This magnetism, earth is getting magnetized. Earth is getting magnetized like what? Earth is having two axes, north and south. Very similarly, we have the magnetic poles. But this magnetic pole, first of all, they are not aligned to the geographical pole. This magnetic pole we represent it as north and south. So the first thing is, these magnetic poles are not fixed. They keep on changing. So first characteristic of magnetism, magnetic poles keeps on shifting. First characteristic. The second characteristic, they don't only shift. In some geological time, these magnetic poles get reversed. And this time could be ranging from 1 million to 4 million time period. The study of these poles getting reversed has been primarily given by the two very important scientists named as Wine and Matthews. So Wine and Matthews were studying specifically they have done lots of study in Indian Ocean. So there is a very famous ridge in Indian Ocean named as Carlsberg Ridge. So while studying the Carlsberg Ridge, they have come out with this concept, and this concept is known as what? I am sure that you must have heard the name, that is paleomagnetism. So what is this paleomagnetism? Just try to understand. As far as earth magnetism is concerned, these two characteristics you need to remember. The first characteristic, magnetic poles are not fixed, they keeps on changing. The second is, these poles all together get reversed. Now on the earth surface, different rocks will get formed in different time period. So the rocks getting formed in different time period, and if the rock is having iron content, so let's suppose that you will have a formation of granite, basalt, gabbro. So if the rock is getting formed and that rock is having iron content, that rock will acquire the magnetism, and this magnetism will get trapped within the rock, and it will remain in the rock until and unless the rock is getting completely destroyed. And how the rock will get destroyed? So it is not the simple destruction on the earth surface. This destruction is recycling. Or recycling kahan pe hogi? That will be when it is going and it is colliding in the form of plates, and then it is going and destructing. So that destruction. So it is not the simple destruction on the earth surface. In very simple word, you can remember that once the rock is getting formed, if it is having iron content, it will acquire the magnetism. Now this magnetism is going to remain within the rock until unless this rock will exist on this planet. So it can be 1 billion, 2 billion, 4 billion. जब तक वो इस planet पे रहेगा, उसके अंदर magnetism trapped रहेगी. Now, the very interesting thing. So let's suppose that granite is getting formed, and paleomagnetism concept भी यहीं से आया था. So when they have started looking out the particularly rocks, they found that at one place granite is behaving like this, at some other place granite is behaving like this. How is it possible? So it is only possible because, so try to understand the concept of paleomagnetism. Paleomagnetism concept says that whenever the rock is getting formed on the earth's surface, and if the rock is having iron content, this rock will acquire the existing magnetism of the earth's characteristic. So whatever the magnetism is existing on the earth's surface, it will acquire. So let's suppose on that particular time earth's magnetic poles were like this, so this rock will acquire this. If the magnetic poles were like this, so it will require this. So paleomagnetism is nothing but it is the study of rock. Study of rocks, magnetic behavior. Now if you will look out the question, so what was the question? Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years, correct? When the earth was, दूसरी पे चलते हैं, second statement, when the earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, so age of earth is around 4.6 billion years. Now going back to that origin and evolution of the earth, we have a different concept related to the origin and evolution of the earth. Particularly the concept is not associated with the earth specifically. Most of the concept has been given with respect to the universe, and the same concept has been applied. So there are two things that you need to remember. First of all, there is a very great agreement. So we are not having any doubt at this point of time. Whatever the process through which other planets have been formed, through the same process Earth has been formed. So Earth has been formed through the same process of which other planets have been formed, including our star, that is Sun. So there has been a same concept, there has been a same process. Now as far as universe is concerned, how the universe is being formed, so from time to time different concept has been given. The very popular, very acceptable concept earlier, it was the concept of Laplace, that is nebular hypothesis. Nebular hypothesis believes that there was a hot cloud of gases, and it was fast rotating. So there was a hot cloud of gases and this was very fast rotating. This hot cloud of gases that is fast rotating was referred as nebula. Now as the nebula was fast rotating, its outer part was losing some heat. So outer part of the nebula was losing some heat, and as it was losing heat, its temperature was little bit going down. So as the temperature was going down, the speed was increasing. This was the concept जिसकी वजह से gaseous hypothesis of Immanuel Kant have been rejected, क्योंकि Immanuel Kant का सोचना था कि साइज भी बड़ा होगा और स्पीड भी बढ़ेगी. So that is against the angular momentum. So because of this, Laplace have simply suggested that the outer part will lose heat. Because of that loss of heat, its size will decreases, contraction, speed will increases. When the size will decreases, speed is increasing, outer part is losing more heat. So this outer part over the period of time will develop a different layer altogether. In other words, you can say the outer part will not be able to keep pace with the inner part. Ultimately, what will happen? This outer part will get detached in the form of ring. As per Laplace, there will be only detachment of one ring. Immanuel Kant, उन्होंने बताया कि 9 अलग-अलग रिंग निकलेगी. 9 अलग-अलग रिंग मतलब 9 अलग-अलग प्लैनेट. Laplace nebular hypothesis, there will be detachment of only one ring, and through this one ring there will be a formation of the other planet. So other planet will form through this. So this is how the solar system has been formed. Over the period of time, this nebular hypothesis have been accepted, but later on we have the Big Bang theory. The Big Bang is most acceptable theory in the present time period related to the formation of the universe. Now what is this Big Bang? The Big Bang concept has been primarily propagated by the Hubble, the great Hubble. But you can say to the world, in a full-fledged form of the theory have been presented by the Lemaître. So Lemaître has presented this theory. Now what this Big Bang theory is propagating? So Big Bang theory believes all the matters, space, everything on this universe, it will brought towards a very single point, which we call it as singularity. So all the points will be brought to singularity. Now at this singularity, temperature will be huge, pressure will be, density will be very huge. So it will have huge density, huge temperature and almost infinite gravity. So this particular singularity, there will be a sudden explosion. Through this sudden explosion, the energy will get released, and through that release of the energy over the period of time, the matters will start coagulating, and these matters coagulation will result into the formation of the galaxies. The galaxies will later on into the star, from the star the different planets. So it is the particularly the concept of Big Bang theory. As per Big Bang theory, we have started from the singularity. सिंगुलैरिटी से स्टार्ट किया है एंड प्रेजेंटली वी आर इन विच स्टेट, एक्सपैंडिंग स्टेट. सो फ्रॉम द सिंगुलैरिटी वी हैव स्टार्टेड, इट इज लाइक हियर एंड वी आर इन विच स्टेट, वी आर इन एक्सपैंडिंग स्टेट. So we are in expanding stage. Around 13.8 billion years ago, this Big Bang has occurred, singularity. One more interesting insight that you need to know and you need to recall, this expanding is associated with the energy. So the energy that has been released through the Big Bang. Till now, you must have some idea that our universe is so big, which appears to be so big, and with respect to some of the stars, some of the galaxy, even our planet, that is Earth, is having the negligible size. There is no existence at all. You must be knowing, but to your surprise, you need to know that till now only 3% of energy has been utilized. So whatever the energy has been released at the time of Big Bang, only 3% has been utilized. Still we are left with, we are means universe is still left with 97% of the energy. But at some point of time, जो भी समय हो, it can be 26 billion, it can be 30 billion, there will be a time when all this energy will get ceases, and once all the energy will get exhausted, then what will happen? Again it will move towards next singularity. So this is the concept related to the planet. So through this process, our Earth has also been formed. Earth has been formed around 4.6 billion years. Now Earth has been formed, if we will go with the nebula concept, so Earth has been formed in which state? Gaseous. So over the period of time, the cooling has started, and this cooling contraction has led to the oncoming of different layers. The heavier materials have started settling near to the core, the lighter materials were left out to the outer side. So we have the different layers, crust, mantle and core. Now when this 4.6 billion years ago, the materials, the atmosphere was there, but that atmosphere was different from the present atmosphere. The present atmosphere of the Earth is like habitable. Only the Earth is having habitable and other planet is not having because of the favorable atmosphere. At that particular of time, our atmosphere was different, first of all, but that atmosphere has gone. So where that atmosphere has gone? That atmosphere has gone, that has been primarily taken away by, there are two phenomena. First, initially the gravitational pull of the Earth was not that strong. So gravitational pull was not that strong. Second, also the solar flares, solar storm was very effective. So solar flare, solar storm was effective, solar wind was effective, and the gravitational pull. So combinedly, Earth has lost its initial atmosphere. तो पहला जो atmosphere था वो चला गया, नया atmosphere बना. So in this new atmosphere, different gases have been released. Now ये gases जो अभी हमारे atmosphere में कहां से आई? So most of the gases of our present atmosphere has been added through. अभी degassing क्या है? This degassing is nothing but the volcanic eruption. So अर्थ के इंटीरियर से गैसेस आई हैं. कौन कौन सी गैसेस हैं? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, नाइट्रोजन, some of the inert gases, water vapor. So सबसे पहली चीज जो आपको याद रखना है, that at the time of oncoming of atmosphere, it was not having oxygen. So if you will just recall this simple fact, अगर आपको याद होगा, so you will not get any confusion. ऑक्सीजन थी ही नहीं. So this statement is incorrect. You should not have any doubt about it. लेकिन हम थोड़ा सा और रिफाइन करते हैं रिवीजन को. This water vapor that has been released, because Earth was still very hot, cooling हो रही थी. Earth was still very hot. So this water vapor have associated with formation of cloud. Water vapor, this has been released, then it is rising and cooling, condensation, cloud bana. Now through this cloud the rainfall has started. Over the period of time this rainfall has resulted into oncoming of oceans. When the ocean came into existence, then within this ocean there has been oncoming of single cell life. So single cell animal that came into existence, that was within this ocean, and this single cell life was associated with anaerobic, without oxygen. So oxygen nahi tha. Now once this anaerobic photosynthesis has happened, then it has released the oxygen. So primarily the oxygen has been added by what? If you will just go and you will try to understand. So initially oxygen was not there. Anaerobic photosynthesis, algae came. Now this algae or single cell organism have started doing the photosynthesis and it has started releasing oxygen. सिंगल सेल से डबल सेल, मल्टीपल सेल ऑर्गेनिज्म आए, फिर आपके बाकी सारे ऑर्गेनिज्म आए एंड दे हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग द फोटोसिंथेसिस. उससे आपका ऑक्सीजन रिलीज हुआ. सो इट मींस व्हाट? लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म ओरिजिनेटेड. व्हाट दे हैव डन? They have modified the Earth's atmosphere. So that is correct statement. So yes, the answer will be 1 and 3. Which of the following phenomena might have influenced the evolution of organism? Continental drift, glacial cycle. So as far as origin of the Earth is concerned, जैसा we have discussed, around 4.6 billion years ago the Earth has been formed. Initial almost 30% of this time period. तो अगर आप ऐसा समझने का ट्राई करें, let's take that 4.6 billion years in 1 year. So just if you will look out, or if you will just imagine that 4 billion year हम लोग we are assuming that it is 1 year, because हमारे लिए एक साल समझना बड़ा आसान होता है. So 1 year is like 1st January to 31st December. So in this 1 year, you just need to remember that first 4 months, there was no life at all. January, February, March, April, there was no life. And the life has started appearing in May month. And that is also in the form of single cell. The main life has started almost coming on the month of October, November. So in this history of Earth, there has been lots of phenomena that is going on. One very important phenomena is changing of temperature. So Earth has witnessed change of temperature multiple times, and this change of temperature is simply referred as ice ages. So in its 1 year time period or 4.6 billion years time period, Earth has witnessed ice ages. How many ice ages? So Earth has witnessed 5 ice ages. Huronian ice age, Cryogenian ice age, Indian Saharan ice age, Karus ice age, and you must be knowing the last ice age, उसके बारे में पता ही होगा, Pleistocene ice age. Within this Pleistocene ice age, जो सबसे last ice age था, there has been a interglacial time period. So there has been a 4 interglacial time period. Like melting up, first there will be a glaciation, melting of glaciation, again glaciation, melting of glaciation. Because of this large scale ice age का मतलब क्या हुआ कि most part of the earth will have complete, almost all the materials, water will get frozen. Now when most part of the earth, imagine that you will have a latitude के तरह सोचिए कि that you will have the equator to 90 degree north, 90 degree south. Imagine that everything beyond Tropic of Cancer and beyond Tropic of Capricorn is frozen. So what will happen to the life? So life will become almost inexistent. और उसी को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Mass extinction. So Earth has witnessed how many mass extinction? 5. Can you recall? So we have end of Ordovician, end of Devonian. तो ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शन वाले स्टूडेंट के लिए ज्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होगी. व्हाट इज दिस Ordovician, Devonian? बाकी के लिए बहुत ज्यादा you need not to put up much your mind. But even in your Atlas, GS के जो स्टूडेंट हैं वो Atlas में भी देखेंगे तो वहां पे ज्योग्राफिकल टाइम स्केल दिया रहता है. So end of Ordovician, end of Devonian, Permian, end of Permian, then we have Triassic, yes. Then we have Triassic, then we have Cretaceous. So this is a 5 ice age, and now we are in which mass extinction. Now we are in which mass extinction? 6th. And this इस पे भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है, प्रीवियस ईयर्स पे क्वेश्चन इस पे पूछा गया. So this 6th mass extinction is by whom? Because of the humans. So it is considered that we are in 6th mass extinction. And one more thing, please be very clear. Geologically, we have only this 5 mass extinction. So it is based on some of the recent event. So IUCN की जो data list है उसके हिसाब से या जो biodiversity का loss हो रहा है in the present time period. So based on that, we have analyzed. As far as geologically, so we have evidence of only 5 mass extinction. Alright, so we have glacial cycle. So glacial cycle, yes, they have very important role. Life evolution of the organism, क्योंकि glacial cycle से ही अगर आप देखेंगे, if you will look out that Pleistocene ice age. Before the Pleistocene ice age, this planet was not suitable for the humans. So it was not possible for the human to survive on this planet. It was only because of the glaciation that we were able to survive. Now coming to the continental drift. So continental drift you must have studied, and if you will able to recall, continental drift theory has been given by the very famous Alfred Wegener. So Alfred Wegener have gone through with the maps, and by going through the world map, he just propagated a theory. बाद में उन्होंने they have given a lots of evidences. So based on the evidences, it became very clear. So idea was that there was a unified landmass. The unified landmass he named is Pangea. Pangaea divided into two pieces, that is the Laurentia and Gondwana land. Later on, the Laurentia has divided into North America, Eurasia, and the Gondwana land had divided into the form of South America, Africa, Australia, India. And throughout its geological past, these lands were moving. That is why he named it as a continental drift. So obviously the answer will be what? So 1 and 2. Moving to the next question, consider the following pairs: electromagnetic radiation, geothermal energy, gravitational force, plate movements, rotation of the earth, revolution of the earth. Which of the above are responsible for bringing dynamic changes on the surface of the earth? What is this meaning of dynamic changes? So dynamic changes, as the name itself is suggested, which is capable of bringing some change in earth. Now as far as earth is concerned, over the earth we have primarily two forces that are responsible for bringing change. कौन कौन से force हैं? Thermal and so primarily we have endogenic and exogenic forces. So these are the two forces that are responsible for making some changes. So endogenic force, plate movement, geothermal energy, it is associated with endogenic. Gravitational force is also coming from inside because of the weight, that is also there. Now other than this, you will not have this direct relation of rotation of the earth, revolution and electromagnet, but if you will look out the rotation is having role in case of distribution of sunlight, temperature, and temperature is very important source of what? Exogenic. Exogenic forces are forces that are operating from above the earth. The same is with the revolution and electromagnetic radiation. So these three, you can say, these three are associated with endogenic, these three are associated with exogenic. Ultimately, all the forces are responsible for making some change, dynamic changes on the surface of the earth. So sometimes a question can be very easy, but the wordings we like confusing. Very basic question, what is the difference between asteroids and comets? तो एस्ट्रॉइड जो होते हैं वो सन के नियर रहते हैं, कॉमेट्स विल बी वेरी फार. तो यू मस्ट बी वेरी क्लियर कि अगर इफ समथिंग इज नियर टू द सन तो वो मॉल्टन कंडीशन में, आइस कंडीशन में होना उसके लिए नहीं पॉसिबल है. दैट इज आल्सो एसोसिएटेड विद इनर प्लैनेट एंड आउटर प्लैनेट. इनर प्लैनेट का व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ द इनर प्लैनेट? इनर प्लैनेट्स टेरेस्ट्रियल, आउटर प्लैनेट you can say that are particularly gaseous in form. And from that itself we have a very famous concept that some of the habitable zone where the life is possible, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं Goldilocks zone, उस पर भी क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है पहले. Anyway, so asteroids are small rocky planetoids while comets are formed of frozen gases held together by rocky and metallic materials. So correct. Then second statement, asteroids are found mostly between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars, so it is very near to the sun. It is incorrect. Comet shows a perceptible glowing tail while asteroid do not. Correct. So the answer will be 1 and 3. So it was in 2011, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be asked. Consider the following statement. In the tropical zone, the western sections of the oceans are warmer than the eastern section owing to the influence of trade winds. Now, this type of question you just need to, let's suppose that this is, let's suppose it's Atlantic. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन में you should not take a chance. इवन जिनका ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल है उनको भी केवल सोचो मत, ट्राई करो कि डायग्राम बना लो, बेहतर रहेगा। अदरवाइज देयर विल बी अ ग्रेटर पॉसिबिलिटी दैट यू विल एंड अप, और फिर वही होगा कि ये इतना इजी क्वेश्चन कैसे गलत हो गया। सो ट्राई टू ड्रॉ डायग्राम एंड बेस्ड ऑन द डायग्राम मेक द डिसीजन। So let's suppose that this is Atlantic Ocean. So question is in the tropical zone. So first you need to have tropical and above tropical. So within the tropical zone, the western section of the ocean. So western section of the ocean is like, so it is western section like this area in the tropical zone are warmer than the eastern section. So this area will be warmer or this area will be warmer? Why that will be warmer? So you just need to apply two concepts, oceanic temperature and the second is your wind. So in the tropical zone कौन सी आपकी wind is blowing? Trade winds, easterly जिसको हम कहते हैं, तो easterlies are blowing and they are moving westward. So from east westward moving. So when the easterlies are moving, it will carry some of the waters. कौन सा water रहेगा? That is surfacial water. And within the ocean, temperature decreases as you will go downside. So temperature of the ocean will be vertically highest at the top. So the warm water is being taken to the east. इसी से एक और concept है that you need to recall. Most of the tropical cyclones will form in the western side of the ocean. So जो भी western side होगा, जितने भी आपको Gulf of Mexico region है, this Caribbean Sea region, there you will find the greater occurrence of tropical cyclone because temperature is high and also the warm water is being taken by the trade wind. So first statement is correct. In the temperate zone, westerlies make the eastern section of ocean warmer than western section. Same concept. So need not to confuse कि टेम्परेचर टेम्परेट जोन है तो हो जाएगा, टेम्परेट जोन में भी आपका वेस्टर्लीज विल मेक western section more warm. So in tropical zone, western section of the oceans are warmer than the eastern section owing to influence of trade winds. In the temperate zone, westerlies make the eastern section of the ocean warmer than the western section. Confusion अगर रहेगा, so just try to recall the ocean currents. Atlantic में just try to look out the Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream is what? Warmer or cooler? And in case of eastern section, look out the particularly North Atlantic drift. Now this question, it's a very, you can say one of the very high demanding question of UPSC. UPSC examiner loves this question, like they love asking question related to the June season. Frequently they ask this question. With reference to the water on the planet, consider the following statement. The amount of the water in the rivers and lakes is more than amount of groundwater. Correct or incorrect? Now always remember, around 97.25% of the water on the earth surface is saline. Now we are left with 2.75% water. Now out of this 2.7, almost 2.08% is in ice caps. So it's a percentage form. So 2.08% is in ice form. Almost 0.60% is in ग्राउंड वाटर. तो अगर आपको बाकी चीजें नहीं भी याद हैं तो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि आइस कैप में सबसे ज्यादा फ्रेश वाटर है, उसके बाद ग्राउंड वाटर, और ग्राउंड वाटर में इतना ज्यादा है कि अगर आप सभी का इंक्लूड करेंगे तब भी इसके बराबर नहीं होगा, बिकॉज यू कैन सी हार्डली 0.07 इज लेफ्ट. सो ये तो आपका स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है, बट मोर इंफॉर्मेशन. आउट ऑफ द रिमेनिंग वाटर, next highest is in lakes, next highest is in atmosphere, next highest soil, and next highest is So reverse is like one of the lowest. Alright, so in this case, what will be the answer? The amount of water in river lakes is more than the amount of groundwater, not possible. So that is incorrect. The amount of water in polar ice caps and glacier is more than the amount of groundwater, that is correct. So only B is correct. With reference to the ocean mean temperature, so this was the question that has been asked in 2020. With reference to ocean mean temperature, which of the following statement is correct? So ये चीज समझिए, ocean mean temperature is different from the sea surface temperature. When we are looking out the sea surface temperature, so we are just looking out the surface temperature. Ocean mean temperature is the temperature which we are looking out for the larger water. So huge amount of water having greater thickness we will look out. OMT is measured up to one more thing. जब ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था, so obviously this question was comparatively tougher and random. So I will not say कि नहीं ये बहुत easy question. This question बाद में एनालिसिस करना, बाद में बता देना कि ये क्वेश्चन इस तरीके से हो जाएगा, and specifically for the teacher it's very easy. But yes, this question was random. और ये भी आप समझिए कि एक दो क्वेश्चन रैंडम रहते हैं, so you need not to worry about it. Also, sometimes what happens, these random questions can also be solved by having some good analysis, good comprehension, reading between the question itself. So like if you will read this question, OMT is measured up to depth of 26 degree isotherm, which is 129 meter in the southwest Indian Ocean during January-March. So yes, during the January and March, South Indian Ocean is like in the warm zone, that is the summer season. So 26 degrees Celsius temperature is not that too much high, but depth is too much. तो अगर आप कॉमन सेंस भी यूज करेंगे थोड़ा सा, so it is very obvious that up to 129 meter you will not have the 26 degree isotherm. So that statement is correct. OMT collected during January-March can be used in assessing whether the amount of rainfall is monsoon will be less or more than the certain. Anything that is associated in the southern Indian Ocean will be helpful in telling us the pressure. And pressure is what is associated with the monsoon. So even if you are not having the exact data, then also you can solve this question and answer will be what? B, that is 2 only. Generally what happens, this 26 isotherm between the 50 to 100 meter, not below that. और precisely देखेंगे तो roughly it is 59 meter. So this 126 isotherm is not that much deep. It is up to 50 to 100 meter. Alright, moving to the next question. Consider the following statement. The Barren Island volcano is an active volcano located in the Indian territory. So what is volcano? So volcano is primarily associated with the eruption of the magma. So कौन-कौन से type के volcano होते हैं? So there are different types of volcano depending upon the geological structure. So most of the volcano is like when two of the plates are converging. So there will be a volcano, volcanic eruption. So convergent boundary volcano. When two plates are diverging, at the diverging boundary also there will be a volcano. So that is divergent boundary volcano. Other than the convergent and divergent boundary, transform boundary पे कोई volcano नहीं होगा. So other than the convergent and divergent boundary, there are one more type of volcano that is referred as hotspot. So hotspot volcano is also there. Anyway, the Barren Island volcano is an active volcano located in Indian territory. So yes, we have only one volcano, and that is if we will look out, I think it is not. So here you will find this, if you will look out in your map. So here you will have the Barren Island, that is nearby east of the Middle Andaman. So Nicobar is in south side, so it is not associated with the south. This is the only active volcano. There is one more dormant volcano, that is not dormant, extinct volcano we have, and that is also in Andaman, that is Narkondam. So the Barren Island volcano is an active volcano located in Indian territory. That is correct. Barren Island lies about 140 km east of Great Nicobar. So it is east of Middle Andaman, not the Great. So that is obviously incorrect. The last time Barren Island volcano erupted, correct or incorrect? Almost from 2015-16. It is continuously erupting. So it will erupt in 16, then not erupting 1 year, then again will erupt. So that is a incorrect. So answer will be, so something, of course it was related with the eruption. So it is a mix of static as well as current related question. तो ऐसे question भी पूछते हैं. Then there was a question in 2017 with reference to Indian Ocean dipole, sometime mentioned in the news while forecasting Indian monsoon. Which of the following statement is are correct? Indian Ocean dipole phenomena is characterized by a difference in sea surface temperature, correct, between tropical western Indian Ocean and so Indian Ocean dipole phenomena is the difference of temperature in eastern Indian Ocean and western Indian Ocean. तो यहां तक ठीक है, difference in sea surface temperature, but it is related with two different oceans. So it is what? Incorrect. An IOD phenomena can play an El Nino's impact on the monsoon. Yes. In fact, IOD have studied only when it came to light कि आपका El Nino का impact नहीं आ रहा. So obviously it is a correct. So answer will be B. Now very interesting. What explains the eastward flow of equatorial current? Earth rotation, convergence of two equatorial currents, different in salinity, occurrence of belt of calm near the equator. If you will just try to recall, that the ocean current that we used to learn, here you will have north equatorial current, here you will have south equatorial current. North equatorial, south equatorial is because of what? Trade winds. So trade winds are pushing the water. Then there will be a movement in north and south. Here there will be a huge piling up of water, that is convergence. Because of this piling up of water, majority of the water is moving north and south in the form of warm ocean current, but some of the water will recede back, and this receding back is known as counter equatorial current. So counter equatorial current is because of what? Here we have the low pressure calm condition, that is some, to certain extent, it is also having some role, but the most important role is what? Convergence of the two equatorial currents. So it is the convergence of water in the western side. So the answer will be, ये थोड़ा confusing है, so please keep in mind it was a lot of confusion related with. बहुत सारी बुक में आपको आंसर मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली क्या मिलेगा? This occurrence of the belt of calm near the equator. But this is the right answer. There is convergence of two equatorial current, and UPSC's answer also is they accept this one. All right. Moving to the next question. Tides occurs in the ocean and seas due to which among the following? Gravitational force of the sun, gravitational force of the moon, centrifugal force of the earth. So what is tide? So tide is simply periodic rise and fall of the oceanic water. Now why this periodic rise and fall of the oceanic water? So primarily it is because of the gravitational force of sun and moon. But the side in which this gravitational pull will be there will be rising. We call it as high tide. But to counter that high tide, there will be one more high tide opposite that on the earth's surface, and that opposite side is associated with centrifugal force of the earth. So on the side, on the sun and moon side, there will be a more or less like a, if this is, let's say, earth, so here the water will be pulled up, so that is high tide. This high tide is because of moon and sun, but opposite to that there will be one more high tide, so that will be related to centrifugal force. So at a time there will be two high tide. To counter these two high tide, there will be a two. So at a time there will be how many tides? 4 tides. So yes, gravitational force is there, gravitational force of moon and so what will be the answer? 1, 2, 3. So all the 3 are responsible. The most important fishing ground of the world are found in the regions where? So it is impact consequence of ocean current. So wherever warm and cold oceanic currents are meeting, that is a very favorable. One more thing, it is not the only fishing ground, but generally wherever there will be a foggy condition. So wherever there will be a foggy condition, chances will be that there will be more and more nutrients. Either you should have foggy condition or you should have more and more upwelling. Upwelling is like oncoming of material from the below. So upwelling कहाँ पे होगी? जहाँ पे आपको cold ocean current मिलेगा. So other than this area, like you will have a warm and cold ocean current is meeting. Gulf Stream is joined by Labrador. So Gulf Stream, Labrador, eastern side of North America. Then you will have eastern side of Asia, Kuroshio and Oyashio. So these two are very one of the best fishing ground. इसके अलावा आपको मिलेगा western side of South America, because you will find there Peruvian current. Western side of America you will have California. फिर एक और फिशिंग ग्राउंड मिलेगा, दैट इज इन द नॉर्दर्न यूरोप. सो इन नॉर्दर्न यूरोप क्या है? स्कैंडिनेवियन रीजन. टेम्परेचर ऑफ वाटर इज वेरी कोल्ड, बट कोल्ड वाटर में थोड़ा वार्मनेस लाती है कौन सी करंट? नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ड्रिफ्ट. सो नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ड्रिफ्ट में भी देयर विल बी स्टीम फॉल एंड दैट इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फिशिंग ग्राउंड. यस. Yes. That is one of the great disaster that these Chile, Peru, these countries they face during the El Nino, because there will be a mass death of the fishes. Why is it? Because both different. There are two things that is working. The first thing, that the upwelling has destructed. So upwelling has destructed, so nutrients are not coming. तो एक तो पॉइंट वो हो गया. दूसरा है कि टेम्परेचर जो वहां की फिशेज हैं या जो वहां का कंडीशन है, इट इज सिचुएशन लाइक अगर हम लोगों को इफ वी आर लिविंग हियर एंड द टेम्परेचर इज लेट्स इमेजिन 20 डिग्री और सडनली ह्यूमंस का जो our range of temperature is much higher, so we can survive. Like in Delhi during the winter temperature is 3 degree and during summer temperature is 52, so our range is very high. But some of the species their range is very low, so let's suppose they are habitual of 20 degrees Celsius and suddenly the temperature become 35, so what will happen? They will die. So one reason is temperature, the second reason is of course the particularly obstruction of upwelling nutrient. There is one more reason, third, that is rainfall, flood. So flood is also responsible because the Peru is dry area, so that region, the whole Atacama deserts and all these areas, they are having the dry condition. But suddenly during El Nino year what will happen? There will be huge amount of rainfall and huge amount of rainfall will create flood like situation. Because if Delhi, you must be knowing, the जो ऑप्शनल के स्टूडेंट हैं वो ज्यादा बेहतर समझेंगे, we call it as rainfall variability. So if amount of rainfall is lesser, let's suppose some area is receiving less amount of rainfall, so less amount of rainfall is having lesser amount of variation, so that is not going to have much effect. But if you will have the less amount of rainfall, variation is more, so that will be very disastrous. So let's suppose the Thar desert. In Thar desert, rainfall generally happens 15 centimeter annual rainfall. अब अगर वहां पे 5 centimeter extra हो जाएगी, so that 5 centimeter will be almost like a huge disaster. दिल्ली में 5 सेंटीमीटर ज्यादा बारिश होगी तो बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. So that is how, because that area is a dry area. Moving to next question. On the planet Earth, so repeat, what will be the answer? Most of the fresh water exists as ice caps and glacier. Out of the remaining fresh water, the largest proportion is what? Groundwater. So answer will be C. So 2030. So questions, they used to frame the question from the options itself. And believe me, they are framing these questions regularly. Why? Because they are very much have assurance on your that your approach. I am not saying that your knowledge or your approach, because lot of students, they practice 30 tests, 40 tests, 60 tests, but they forgot to just go through last 12 years previous years question. I think 17-18 में Mediterranean Ocean से related question लगातार continuously they were asking, and one of the year they have asked the same question, even they have not changed the options also, sequence also. Correct. Moving to next, इसीलिए previous year's question is very important, you need to solve it. La Nina is suspected to have caused recent floods in Australia. How is La Nina different from El Nino? So it was in the news in that year, current affairs से related था, लेकिन basic question. La Nina is characterized by unusually cold ocean temperature in equatorial Indian Ocean, whereas El Nino is characterized by unusually warm ocean temperature in equatorial Pacific Ocean. El Nino is characterized by unusually warm ocean temperature in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, correct? But La Nina is characterized by unusually cold ocean temperature in the same area. So first statement is wrong. El Nino has adverse effect on southwest monsoon of India, but La Nina has no effect on monsoon climate. So again, El Nino का ठीक है, but La Nina के केस में गलत है. So that is D, neither 1 nor 2. Then there is a map based question. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? So if you will go with the, see, कई बार if the question is being asked and if you are having some basic idea, अगर आपको basic idea भी रहेगा, so then you will be able to solve this particularly questions like Guyana Highland. So Guyana Highland अगर आपने basic mapping किया है, so you must be knowing that it is in not in Africa altogether. It is where? South America. So it is in South America. Atlas Mountain. So Atlas Mountain आपको कहाँ पे मिलेगा? That is in Africa, Northwest Africa. Abyssinian Plateau and Okavango Basin you will find in में ही है, अगर आप देखेंगे if you will open your map just below this Congo Basin, map is not responding. Here you will have Congo Basin. So Africa के map में south, central south में you will find this particular location. So this type of location they use to ask. So it is not like that you need to just because one question has been asked, so you need to just open your map and all the location you need to look out. But in map work, you just need to rely on your knowledge, the basic mapping which you must have done in your classes या आपने खुद से पढ़ा जो NCERT, उसको आपको rely करना है. Like this question was not to check your knowledge about this particularly Abyssinian Plateau or Okavango. ये तो आपके लिए confusion था. They were just looking out, do you have knowledge of Atlas Mountain or not? And Atlas Mountain is only few mountains related with the convergent boundary. Convergent boundary जब आप पढ़ते हैं वहाँ पे भी पढ़ते हैं. That some of the, so answer will be B. Then moving to the 9th, this already we have taken. Now this 20. So this has been asked in 2017. So in the first appearance, this question will appear like a very difficult question. The term event horizon, singularity, string theory and standard models are sometimes seen in the news in the context of. So this was very much in the news because of the that God particles, neutrino observatory. तो कई बार आया था. But even if you are not having that much knowledge, if you are just going to apply your common sense, so singularity देखते ही आपको लगना चाहिए that it is something related with what? Universe. So if you will simply go observation and understanding of the universe. So even if you don't know other things, then also you can go with this. So answer will be in this case observation and understanding of the term Goldilocks zone is often seen in the news in the context of, so habitable zone where life can be possible. So what will be there? Answer will be search for planet. If you will look out, if you will just imagine the solar system. So in solar system we have the 4 planets, inner planet, 4 planet, Jovian planet, outer planet. Earth is having life. Now Mercury and Venus, they are very near to the sun. So temperature is very high. Then if you will look out your other planets in the Jovian planet, Jupiter and all those, you will find the Jupiter is completely away. So it is relatively far away. That is why Jupiter is still in the gaseous form. So the only other area where there is a possibility, and that is why we are so much interested in that planet, is which planet? Mars. So that is Mars. That is why we are so much interested in the Mars. There is a greater possibility that life was there or the life is possible in case of Mars. Alright. One of the question I have taken from the before 2011, because most of the question I have included up to 2011 and onward. This question is just to give you some idea. When there is a noon at IST meridian, people, another place of the earth is taking their 6 o'clock morning tea. The longitude of the place is what? So it is associated with the rotation. So you must be having idea about the rotation. Earth rotates on its axis from west to east. And Earth takes how much time for one complete rotation? 24 hours. So one complete rotation Earth takes 24 hours. In this one complete rotation, Earth is completing 360-degree angle or 360-degree longitude. So for 1 degree rotation, Earth takes 4 minutes. In other words, 15 degree 1 hour. Okay? So 1 hour 15 degree. This is one thing. Other thing is, what are the consequences of the rotation of the Earth on the Earth's surface? What are the different phenomena that is associated with the Earth's rotation? So one of the phenomena that is associated with Earth rotation is day and night. Any other phenomena? Tides. So tide is also the phenomena. Any other phenomena other than tide? Coriolis effect. So these three are very important phenomena that is associated with the Earth rotation. Tides, Coriolis, day and night. Now, in this question it is asking that it is a noon time. Noon time कहाँ पे हो रहा है? So ये भी कई बार है कि ऐसे क्वेश्चन ऐसे इजी क्वेश्चन आते हैं तो स्टूडेंट विल go with the flow. First of all, you need to understand that we follow the international standard time, uniform time. In this uniform time, generally the time will be calculated from the prime meridian, which is 0 degree and which passes from the Greenwich nearby the Britain. So this time is referred as GMT. Over the period of time, there has been uniformity that every country should have their own standard timeline. This standard timeline is simply referred as that meridian of that particular country. The only condition is that the countries are advised to select the meridian in such a manner that it should be multiple of 7.5 degree. Because for 1 degree 4 minutes, 7.5 degree, it will be 30 minutes. So the difference should be 30 minutes. India has also its own standard timeline, and that is what? 82.5 degree. So हमारा जो timeline है, that is 82.5 degree. That is a Indian standard timeline. So the question is that there is a noon at Indian standard timeline. So India में कितना हो रहा है time? 12 p.m. Someone is having still 6 o'clock morning. So 6 o'clock morning means that place will be east or west? That place will be west of this Indian standard timeline. So that's it. So 1 hour gap 15 degree, 6 hour gap means 90 degree. So the place should be 90 degree of what? 90 degree difference between this place, जो आपका place है, that is Indian standard time, and that place, that is P. So 90 degree difference. So here 82.5 degree. So what will be the answer? It is like here you will have IST and it is 82.5 degree east. And now you have a place that is west of this place and the difference is what? 90 degree. So 90 degree कैसे होगा? पहले आपको prime meridian आएगा. Because if this is 82.5 degree तो ये तो prime meridian से ही है. So यहाँ से 82.5. How much left? So sometime very basic question. Should not be missed just because of the language and heat of the examination. Anyway, moving to the next question. The Richter scale, it is associated with the earthquake. Richter scale is logarithmic scale and so an increase of 1 magnitude unit represents a factor of 10 in amplitude. As far as the Richter scale is concerned, there are two scales to measure the earthquake. One is Richter and another one is Mercalli scale. Richter is checking the actual release of energy, whereas the Mercalli scale is used to look out the damage. Damage generally depends upon the area, that if the area is having more people, and if in one of the area people number is lesser, settlement is lesser, so obviously the area where more people are there, if the same force earthquake is coming, so chances will be more that people are dying more in where more habitation, more settlement is there. That is why Mercalli is more useful for the administrative purpose, that where there is a greater chances of loss of life property. Anyway, but for you can say geological purpose, academic purpose, Richter scale is more suitable, because here we are looking out the actual release of energy. From the actual release of energy, we will able to know that how the plates are interacting, what is the speed of the plates. So all this information will be looked out. So Richter scale is logarithmic scale, and so an increase of one magnitude unit represents a factor of 10 in amplitude. That is correct. Each integer reading of the Richter scale has an energy 100 times than the previous. So the same statement has been reframed, but only one difference, that is, so it should be what? It should be 10 times. So what will be the answer? So earthquake is a very, you can say, priority area, because in last 2-3 years we are witnessing so many earthquakes. So it's not a surprise if you will get a question on earthquake. Then we have the area is known as Golan Height, sometimes appears in the news in the context of events related to what? So it was in 2015 and 2015, almost starting from 2012, there has been a lots of you can say things were happening in Asia and all those areas. So this question was being asked, बहुत बार न्यूज़पेपर में भी ये टर्म यूज हुआ था, तो करंट से भी कई बार न्यूज आइटम आता है. So of course the answer will be Middle East. So in case of when you will look out the Mediterranean area is happens to be very important area. Mediterranean, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, South China Sea, these are some of the very important sea ocean in which you should have a good understanding of all the countries that are bordering, the sequence in which sequence they are bordering, clockwise, on anti-clockwise, north, south, south, north, you should have a clarity. There will be a possibility that one or two question will be asked. So this Golan Height is in what? Middle East. It belongs to the Syria. So actually, originally it was in Syria, but I think 1959 war, the Israel is having the control. So in 2022, map based question, very simple, but appears to be difficult if you have not revised it. अगर आपने रिवाइज किया है तो इजी रहेगा. अजरबैजान, किर्गिजिस्तान, ताजिकिस्तान, तुर्कमेनिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान. Which of the above borders with अफगानिस्तान? तो अफगानिस्तान से आपको याद होना चाहिए कि ईरान का है, पाकिस्तान का है, इंडिया का है, चाइना का है. अब यू जस्ट नीड टू हैव दैट आइडिया कि ये जितने भी तान हैं, इस तान में ऊपर कौन सा है. So obviously your Azerbaijan and Kyrgyzstan, they will be in outer side if you will look out the map. So answer will be Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Mediterranean Sea is a border of which of the following countries? Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria. इराक के साथ है border, so there is no possibility of Iraq. So you will have 3 4 1 3 4 3 and so here you should have a regularly they are asking. So you can see that Jordan is a landlocked. So Jordan is not there. Then you will have here particularly Mediterranean. Then Turkey. On other side of the Turkey you will have a Black Sea is there. So Syria is also having border. Iraq is here. So there is no possibility. So you should have. So that is why in map based question some of the students just they don't look out the question or they don't go through with the question just based on some idea that yes, map based questions are. If you will clearly look out, then you will find yes, there can be one question that is random, but all the other map question can be solved by having very basic idea. At least if you are a student of GS, forget about अगर आप नहीं geography, अगर आप GS के भी student हैं, इतना तो expectation होना चाहिए that you should have some idea about some countries. और उसमें से भी मिडल ईस्ट, सेंट्रल एशिया, दिस इज हैपेंस टू बी वन ऑफ द हॉट स्पॉट. अगर आप जियो पॉलिटिक्स में देखें हमेशा से इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट प्रेजेंटली वी हैव दिस रसिया यूक्रेन क्राइसिस एंड अफगानिस्तान दिस तालिबानी प्रॉब्लम्स एंड ऑल, इट रिमेन्स वेरी हॉट स्पॉट. तो उस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी यू नीड टू revise it properly. Of course, so answer will be what? C. Then we have a question very recently in which of the following countries have. So this was in 2018 current related, but yes, answer will be Yemen and South Sudan. Even in present time period, there has been a lots of happening in Sudan. So that area also you need to look out that countries which of the countries are having the borders, some of the major plateaus, some of the rivers that are flowing through that area. So it is not all right. One more question in 18 map based. Region sometime mentioned in the news. So again this question, because right from the time when the Russia has annexed, so it is very much expected that you must be knowing the Crimea. So if you know the Crimea, half of the job will be done, like 1 2 and 3, then you will have 2 and 4, that is gone. You are left with 3 and 4, 1 and 3. Now 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 both 3 common, so you just need to look out the Catalonia and Oromia. So from that perspective this question become little bit tough, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इतनी आसानी से आपको नहीं मिलेगा. If you have not no idea about the Catalonia or Oromia, yes, Catalonia is part of the Spain, but अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ा है, अगर आप नहीं gone through करे, तो इस क्वेश्चन में आप that will be like completely तुक्का. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन, ऐसे ऑप्शन से बचना चाहिए. अगर आप नहीं कर रहे, so just leave it, that will be better. Moving to next question. 18 में ही था, because the Middle East is so much in news, so it is very possibility that you must have come across with the Kirkuk and Mosul. So these two are not associated with the Yemen and Palestine. So if you will leave these 2 and 3, so you are left with only 1 and 4. Kirkuk and Mosul you will find is part of Iraq. So it's a बहुत बार न्यूज में था वहां पे 18 में, so it was not associated with this. Even present time also it is important for you to just look out these areas. Turkey is located between Black Sea and Black Sea and Mediterranean. So it will be Black Sea and Mediterranean. Again, one of the question related to, so that was in 18, this is 15. Which of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean? So कौन सा होगा? जॉर्डन. So अगर आपने 15 का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया है तो आपको 17 में दिक्कत नहीं होगी. Moving to next. So you will have consider the following pair. Which of the pairs given above are correct? So if you will look out, Red Sea is here. So here we will have the Red Sea. Syria is there. So Red Sea, Syria, correct or not correct? So it is not correct. So you are left with 1, 2 and 4, 1, 3 and 4. Now you just need to look out the Black Sea, Croatia. So if you will just look out, you will find Black Sea is here and Croatia is part of which? क्रोएशिया आपको कहां पे मिलेगा? Final? So obviously here you will have Black Sea. So you will not have that Croatia. So what will be the answer? Answer will be 2 is incorrect. So answer will be क्रोएशिया. देखेंगे तो आपको क्रोएशिया यहाँ पे आएगा. Here Slovakia and nearby, and Black Sea is like here. So Hungary के नीचे यहाँ पे. So here it's Croatia is there, Black Sea is there. So little bit idea of the map will be. So again, if you have just gone through the Mediterranean, Black Sea, the major sea जैसा मैंने आपको बताया, Black Sea, South China Sea, so you will be able to solve. There will not be any problem in this. 2018, which of the following have shrunk immensely, dried up the recent past due to the human activity? So here you will have, again, this is something which is associated with some current as well as some basic. Aral Sea, Black Sea Lake. But in this question you need to understand have shrunk immensely. So this immensely term is very important. So they are asking that it has dried up hugely. So hugely dried up, only evidence. Of course we have witnessed some of the drying up. Black Sea में भी है, Lake Baikal में भी है. But large scale drying up you will find in case of Aral Sea. So in Aral Sea there will be a huge drying up. So here the answer will be Aral Sea. If you will recall the steppe region, so steppe is a grassland. Steppe grasses have been almost removed in this area, specifically this region, and they have just invested money. So with the use of huge capitals, they have transformed this steppe region into the great granaries of the world. But for the agriculture, you also require water. So the water requirement they have fulfilled through 2 rivers. One is particularly Amu Darya and the other one is Sir Darya. So because of that removal, or you can say less draining of the water, Aral Sea is drying up. So we have, it has dried up. What is the correct sequence of the following cities in Southeast Asia as one proceeds from south to north? So again, this is a map based question. आप जब map करेंगे, option Singapore is very near to the equator. जकार्ता उसके नीचे होगा, yes. So 3, 4, 1, 2. So answer will be C. The same question has been asked way back in I think 2008 or 7. वहां पे भी ऑप्शन भी सेम थे, बट वहां पे just they were looking, they have asked that which country, which of these places, cities are very near to the equator. तो वहां पे क्वेश्चन ये पूछा गया था that which of these cities are very near to the equator. तो अगर आपने वो रिवाइज किया है तो ऑब्वियसली यू कैन सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. Not exactly, but yes, the countries that are near to the equator, cities that are near to the equator, cities that are near to the Tropic of Cancer, cities that are near to the Tropic of Capricorn. So these map work you need to do. So you should not hesitate that I am not going to cram the things. If you will just regularly locate these places, तो आपको cramming की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. If you have just revised, so by visualizing the places you will be able to recall. But if you have not revised it, if you have not gone through it, obviously it will appear कि अच्छा अगर हमें exact location नहीं पता तो how I should solve this particular question. All right. Moving to the last question. Consider the factors. So first is the rotation of the earth, second is air pressure and wind, density of ocean water, revolution of the earth. So as far as we were looking out the ocean current के case में we have the gyre. Oceanic water moves in a fixed direction, and these oceanic water that moves in a fixed direction ultimately forms a circle, and this circle is referred as what? Gyre. And this gyre is in which area? That is subtropical area. So we call it as subtropical gyre. Now in this subtropical gyre, there has been a different roles. So there will be a effect of ocean. So we have role of temperature, we have role of density, we have role of salinity. So temperature, salinity, density plays role. Even the oceanic water melting. So some of the polar area the water is melting, that will also have some role. So melting of water, it will also have its role. Other than this, the atmosphere plays important role. In atmosphere we have temperature is there, we have pressure is there, we have wind is there, rainfall is there. Other than this, very important role is being played by Coriolis force. So all these plays important role when it comes to the oceanic current. Now because of this only you will have the subtropical gyre. In this gyre there will be 4 different arms. This arm will be having the warm water. Warm that is going in north and south, that will also having the warm water, because it is also the water that is moving from the tropical region. When it is moving eastward, so in northern hemisphere it will be warm, in southern hemisphere it will become cold. Why cold? Because in southern hemisphere there will be effect of the Antarctic, जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं Southern Ocean. So there will be role of Southern Ocean. So this particularly, this will be cold. This will become cold because of the upwelling phenomena. So this subtropical gyre will get completed in this subtropical gyre, sorry, these three arms will have warm current. So northern hemisphere only one arm is representing by cold, in southern two arms. So it will be easy for you to remember the oceanic current. If you will try to recall, if you will try to learn through this subtropical gyre, it will be very easy. So if you will just try to visualize Atlantic Ocean. So in Atlantic Ocean, North Equatorial, Gulf Stream, North Atlantic Drift. These three will be warm ocean current. South Equatorial, Brazilian current. So these two will be warm current. West wind drift. Then you will have Venezuela current. Here you will have Canaries current. So these three will be cold current. If you will go in Pacific, so here again North Equatorial current, South Equatorial current. Here you will have Kuroshio. Here you will have the North Pacific current. So these three will be warm current. Here you will have the East Australian current. Here you will have South Equatorial, that is a warm current. West wind drift, there also it will be cold. Here you will find California in case of Pacific. Here you will find Peruvian current. जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं Humboldt current. Peruvian currents are Humboldt current. So if you will try to recall, if you will try to learn this gyre, and through this gyre, if you will try to recall the currents, it will be easy for you. Now, rotation of the earth, Coriolis. Rotation of the earth is what? It is Coriolis. Air pressure and wind, yes. Wind is responsible for initiation, frictional drag. Density of oceanic water, yes. Revolution of the earth, revolution of the earth. So what will be the answer? 1, 2 and 3. So revolution of the earth is not having the much role in case of oceanic current. Alright, so out of these, I have only taken up the question of general geography, geomorphology and oceanography. So of course you must be revising, and I am sure that you must have revised all your concept, whole geography, but whatever you have revised, definitely you have done well. But other than this, try to focus on the area that we have discussed, because these are the area from where regularly questions are being asked. One is your map. So just quickly revise your map related to some of the oceans, some of the political map. Other than the map, some of the concept like a general geography, rotation, revolution. If you are having any problem in this, like when the longest day will happen, when the shortest day will happen. So I am sure that after going through this session, definitely that should be clear. And if it's still not clear, you need to clear, because in prelims, a single question is also very important, because lots of students will be on that borderline. So there will be a large number of students who are scoring 86, 87. So one of the questions will become very important, and specifically if it is being asked from the known area. अगर रैंडम क्वेश्चन है तो तब ज्यादा आपको प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी, परेशानी नहीं होगी. लेकिन अगर कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन था जिसे अगर आप एक बार रिवाइज करके सॉल्व कर सकते थे, दैट विल बी disastrous for you. So you should not fall in that line. So it will be better for you to just have a revision. So more revision on these particular areas. So that's it for today. We'll continue the session in the next few days. So that